They descended on Haven's Reach at dawn cycle, not with the desperation of conquerors, but with the indulgent cruelty of predators who had never known fear. The Valthyr Armada cut through the sky like living blades of glass, their warships shimmering with shifting, refracted light. Below, the human colony sprawled across emerald valleys and silver seas, a peaceful haven, too new and too far from Earth to know the taste of war. The Valthyr struck without warning. They disabled orbital defenses with contemptuous ease, their beams slicing habitats in orbit as if trimming weeds. Civilian transports tried to scatter, engines screaming as they fled for the clouds. The Valthyr laughed across open channels, voices dripping with disdain. Children playing at Empire, one commander sneered as he watched the colony's militia vessels burn. Earth breeds soft things. They build gardens where fortresses should stand. On the surface, plasma fire turned cities to glass. Families screamed in collapsing shelters. The Valthyr walked through fire and ruin, their soldiers recording executions to broadcast later across the core as a message. This is what comes of humanity's insolence. In orbit, a single ship tried to flee, the colony governor's envoy, racing for jump coordinates that might reach Earth. The Valthyr locked it in place, tore its engines apart with precision fire, then broadcast the humans' final pleas for mercy on every frequency. Pathetic, the Valthyr warlord declared, his words echoed by his fleet. Let the galaxy watch, let them learn. Humanity kneels. Haven's Reach burned until no sound remained but the crackling of cooling ash. The chorus of mockery. In the days that followed, Valthyr news nets blazed with triumph. Their victory was played again and again, human soldiers scattering like insects, their civilians wailing, their envoys silenced in orbit. The core worlds applauded, rival empires whispered approval, some in envy, others in fear. At Valthyr banquets, nobles raised crystal chalices filled with the glowing nectar of conquered worlds. Earth will sue for peace, they boasted. They will beg, as all lesser species beg, and we will grant them terms after breaking their teeth. Philosophers of the core declared humanity a failed experiment, too sentimental, too fragile, too slow to adapt. The Valthyr declared Earth a lesson to all newcomers. Aspiration has a price, and across the galaxy, the message spread: humans are prey. The silence before the storm, but Earth said nothing. For weeks the galaxy watched for their reaction. No fleet stirred, no envoys begged for compromise, no trembling leaders broadcast apologies across the stars. The galaxy grew confident in their misjudgment, mistaking silence for weakness. The Valthyr taunted more boldly. They transmitted recordings of Haven's Reach in flames to human trade partners. They mocked Earth in council chambers, scoffing at the ape descendants who had no claws. See how still they sit, one core diplomat jeered. They are frozen by fear. They will do nothing. The galaxy's rulers forgot what silence can mean. They did not see it for what it was, not paralysis, but preparation. For in the hidden shipyards of Mars, engines roared. In the bastions of Luna, weapons were armed. Beneath the oceans of Europa, legions assembled. And on Earth itself, a single message was prepared, short, precise, and cold as the void. When it came, it was not broadcast to allies, nor pleaded through diplomatic channels. It cut directly across the Valthyr's command net, overriding their encrypted systems with ease. The message contained 3 words. You began this. The awakening of the Titans. The galaxy had never seen the Terran dreadnoughts. They were not ships so much as mobile cathedrals of war, forged in silence and hidden from prying eyes. When they emerged from the void, they blotted stars from sight. Each vessel carried the wrath of a planet. Planetary kinetic drivers, swarms of autonomous hunters, and railguns large enough to spear moons. Their hulls bore no ornamentation, no banners, only the deep matte black of space itself, as if void had taken form. Behind them, countless carriers unfolded their wings, releasing fleets upon fleets of destroyers and interceptors. Troop ships rode in formation, each carrying armored divisions bred and trained for only one purpose: retaliation. Across every channel, humanity's silence broke at last. The same phrase, repeated again and again, calm as a whisper, lethal as a sentence. Humanity does not kneel. The galaxy's laughter faltered. Fire made flesh. The first strike fell on the Valthyr's pride world, Erythra Prime, a jewel world glittering with crystalline cities. Its orbital rings were filled with civilian pleasure craft, its skies always clear, its surface untouched by war for centuries. The human fleet arrived without ceremony. No demands, no ultimatums. They descended like storms. Orbital rings cracked under kinetic bombardment, their fragments raining fire across oceans. Human troops landed in drop pods that struck the surface like meteors, their armored infantry pouring into crystalline palaces and tearing them apart room by room. The Valthyrs screamed in disbelief. Their fleets rallied in orbit, but found themselves shattered within minutes. Human railguns punched through shields as if they were paper. Plasma screens melted before hypersonic salvos. The dreadnought Nemesis cut through the Valthyr flagship with a single barrage, splitting its kilometer-long hull into molten fragments that drifted like sparks. Erythra Prime burned for 7 days. The Galaxy watched in horrified awe. The scythe sweeps wide, but Earth's vengeance did not stop with one world. Every Valthyr stronghold across 3 sectors became a target. Fleets vanished in their own home orbits, annihilated before they could scramble fighters. Colonies that had mocked Haven's reach were themselves reduced to silence, their broadcast towers transmitting nothing but static. Human ground forces moved with relentless precision. They were not conquerors. They sought no slaves, no territory. They sought only the complete erasure of the Valthyr's arrogance. Cities once filled with laughter and boasts were reduced to ruins. The Valthyr's art, their culture, their long centuries of pride, swept aside as if carved from clay beneath a blade. The Galaxy tried to speak. Councils convened. Ambassadors pleaded with humanity to stop, to show restraint, to remember diplomacy. But every plea met the same reply. Restraint ended with Haven's reach. Humanity's fleets carved destruction across the stars, a tide that could not be turned, a storm no empire had prepared to endure. The fall of the warlord at last. The human fleet reached the throne world of the Valthyr warlord, the one whose laughter had echoed across the stars as Haven's reach died. His palace was a mountain of crystal and steel, surrounded by armadas that once guaranteed eternal supremacy. The humans arrived in silence. Their ships surrounded the world like an eclipse, their weapons locked, their soldiers ready. The warlord broadcast his threats. His boasts faltered. His commands turned to desperation, and then his palace walls shook as human drop pods tore through its spires, as Terran infantry stormed through halls once thought inviolable. They cut down his guards like reeds in the wind. When they reached his throne, they found the warlord trembling. He demanded a duel. He demanded honor. He demanded recognition. The human commander simply said, "There is no honor in revenge, only balance." And with that, the warlord's life ended, swift and final, his arrogance silenced. The silence. After the storm, the war did not drag on. It ended because there was nothing left of the Valthyr that could resist. Their fleets were ash, their worlds broken, their voices reduced to whispers in exile. Humanity did not occupy their ruins. They left them smoldering, empty reminders to the Galaxy. They took nothing, claimed no thrones, planted no flags. They came only to answer cruelty with ruin. And once that balance was achieved, they vanished back into the void. In the aftermath, the Galaxy trembled. Where once rulers had mocked, now they whispered. Where once they had seen Earth as prey, now they saw a predator too vast to awaken. On every world, in every council, the same words spread: never provoke Earth again. For the Galaxy had learned a truth it would never forget. Humanity's patience was vast, their silence long, their hope sincere. But when that patience was broken, when cruelty demanded balance, then humanity's rage carved destruction into galaxies unprepared to endure, and the silence that followed was deeper than any the stars had known.